Okie dokie, day 9. Just about managed to do yesterday without looking at solutions for visualizations that really helped click it. And I now understand why I needed that skip. And it was just because, well, I wasn't accounting for doubles because it was the other way around. So they weren't technically the same pairs, so they flipped. So skipping skips that, and it's possibly going to help here. Here we have some coordinates, and we need to find the biggest rectangle we can form if these coordinates are in the opposite corners, which should be pretty easy. And I think what I want to do is whittle this down to options which have the least x and least y, least y and least x, so there'll be sort of two over here, most x and least y, and least y and most x. So there'll be two in each corner, and then the same down the bottom. And so that's going to require just a couple of sorts with custom tool functions. I think. I mean, it might be a bit harder than that. But we'll see. The naive way to do this is just iterate over all of them, because you're only multiplying two numbers. You're only looking at the area, so you subtract two numbers twice and multiply them. And you could do that for every single input pretty quickly. And it wouldn't take long at all. Interesting question is what part 2 is going to be. So first off, I would like a vector of points, which I still have, and it's basically the same as day 9, the day 8. Points are I size. Let's do, let's give it an area. It's going to take a ref self and other, which is also ref self, capital self, and return u size. Okay, let's find all u sizes and make them I sizes. Again, the reason I'm using I sizes is so that point maths can just wrap around without really worrying about it too much. And it's going to be self.0 minus self minus other.0 abs. We like abs. Multiplied by the same. That's all. Sweet. That's nice and easy. So the naive way to do it is just going to be for I points in data iter enumerate for j. I don't think I need j for other in data iter skip I plus 1, i.e. we've checked all the other ones. Let mu max area is equal to 0. Area is equal to point area other if area greater than max area equals area. This is the real cheap and nasty brute force solution, return max area. So the test will give 50, which failed. Area 8. Because we got a huge number. What? Because I'm using test data. Sorry, because I'm using real data. Okay, so we still failed on test data, we got 36. So, I mean, we don't even need this skip, to be honest. we could get rid of the skip, which means we can get rid of the enumerate, and we'll just do all of them by brute force. Not very efficient, but let's see what data it holds. No point over-optimizing a solution. Ooh, still got 36. Oh, is it definitely? What's the largest area? And they're saying it's between 2, 5 and 11, 1. 11 minus 2 is 9. Because area is not actually area. Area is the number of things filled. So, yeah, they're saying 11 minus 2 is effectively 10. That's fine, we can just go update the area function. That's not a problem. Stick +1 in there. Ooh, apparently I haven't got numpad on. And this is always going to be a +1 problem. That's fine. Cool. And some huge number. Great, part 1 complete. How long did that take? That took 6 minutes. 3/4 of the way through. It's a bit suspicious. Okay, right, here we go. The elves have just remembered something. This has never happened before. Honestly, how these elves get any toys made in time for Christmas, who knows? Oh, it turns out you can only actually use a chisel on a Tuesday. In your list, every red tile is connected to the red tile before and after it by a straight line of green tiles. Right. The list wraps. So the first red tile is also connected to the last red tile. That's fine. Tiles that are adjacent in your list will always be on either the same row or the same column. Tiles that are adjacent in your list will always either be in the same row or the same column. Yes, I think. Row 7, column 1. Row 11, column 1. Row 11, column 7. Row 9, column 7. Row 9, column 5. Row 2, column 5. Row 2, column 3. And then row 7, column 3, back to row 7, column 1. Okay, fine. In addition, all the tiles inside this loop of red and green tiles are also green. Okay. The remaining tiles are never red nor green. So we have an enclosed shape full of green tiles. Fine. The rectangle you choose must have red tiles in opposite corners, but any other tiles it includes must now be red or green. Right. Yeah, okay. And we have loads of options. So I mean, brute forcing this is it's not trivial. I guess the first thing is, can we do an area based lookup? Can we have an is in, if we take a point, can we say, is it enclosed within the area? Which is effectively saying, is it green? And to do that, I think it would be really nice to have a set that you can look up either by X or by Y. Which you could do. Then you have a map you look up and you just do map x, y, and maybe also map yx. Like, it's not going to take double the memory, but it's not too bad. And at that point, it's relatively trivial, because you would need to know which way the line goes. No, you want to maintain order. I mean, you could just draw out the entire set, which would take a while, but I think is probably the only guaranteed way to do it. So I don't really care whether or not they're red or green. If I draw all those lines, you need to know which side of the line you are. Is it always true that if this you have a right angle here, but it is not always true that direction? It must be. No, you could have some super weird shape. I think this is an offline thinker.